dictates how you act. It's going the distance. I'm gonna have to say Stanionis. I think Boots can beat him by points. I think Boots can beat him by points, but unless, because I think he does have the ability to do it. I'm sure he's done it in the gym. He's done things or whatever else, but that's to other people. But we don't know how tough Stanionis is. We don't, the opposition is what is, like I was telling you about, power and dealing with certain things. That's what make you act how you act. Realistically, I'm going to say Boots by decision because of the situation that it is. I'm going to say it's going to be a very, very controversial fight, but I'm going to bet on Stanionis. I think Boots going to win. Yeah.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So what you just heard was the voice of Brian Norman Sr., father, trainer, and manager to undefeated WBO welterweight world champion star boxer Brian Norman Jr. And they have a brewing rivalry between themselves and undefeated IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer Jaron Boots Ennis, who is going to unify the belts tonight in Atlantic City, New Jersey, against undefeated WBA Lithuanian star boxer Ennis Stanionis. And so Brian Norman Sr. gives his honest opinion on the fight tonight on AM Sports Media. Shouts out to AM Sports Media. He gives his honest opinion. You can see this interview in its totality there. And Brian Norman Sr. gives his honest opinion. Many people sent me this clip, and they stated that Brian Norman Sr. was hating on Jaron Boots Ennis when he made this prediction. His son is 27 wins, no loss, no draw, 21 big wins by way of knockout. He's only 24 years of age, 5'8", with a 72-inch arm reach, coming off of a knockout victory over Derek Cuevas. That was March 29th, okay, about 2 to 3 weeks ago. He knocked him out in the third round. Now, if you don't know, they were negotiating a fight with Jaron Ennis, who is 33 wins, no loss, no draw, 29 wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach, before Jaron Boots Ennis had his last fight against Karen Chugajan in a rematch, okay? He rematched Karen Chugajan, and the first time he won 12 rounds. To me, I thought he won 12 rounds to nothing. But Cameron was not eager to engage with Jaron Ennis. So they fought in January of 2023, and then they rematched in November of 2024. And it went the distance, both fights, okay? 24 rounds of boxing with Karen Chugajan. And Boots was obviously expected to knock out Karen. Prior to that, he fought and beat David Avanesian, knocking him out in the 5th round. And these last 2 fights was in his hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So prior to that, he had that spectacular performance against Roman Villa. That was after the lackluster quote-unquote fight with Karen Chugajan in January, where he dominated and stopped Roman Villa in the 10th round, right? And everybody felt like it was the style matchup of Cameron and not wanting to engage why Boots didn't get the knockout. So Boots promised a knockout against Cameron in the rematch, and he was supposed to fight Brian Norman, but that fell through because of money. Then the WBO situation and the IBF situation. There was a lot there that took place. With that said, Jaron Ennis is the superstar in the situation. Brian Norman is the button star turning into a superstar, and Brian Norman is not backing down. Neither is Brian Norman Sr., so they got a lot to say, and they had a few sparring sessions. And so people sent this to me, and they said Brian Norman Sr. is hating on Jaron Boots Ennis because Ennis Stanionis, who is 15 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout. He is, I believe, 30 years of age. He's expected to blow Ennis Stanionis out the water. Ennis Stanionis is a tough customer. Okay, he's 30 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He has a lot of intangibles, that being Amanda Stanionis to that of Karen Chugajan and David Avanesian. He knocked out Avanesian in the 5th round. And it's expected, right? Style matchups, okay? With that said, it's not hating, right? He says that he feels like Jaron Ennis. It's surprising to me, okay, that he actually thinks that Amanda Stanionis will win the fight, but lose a controversial decision, something similar to the situation of Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. That was controversial, close fight that many people thought Tank lost. So he's saying that he thinks that Jaron Ennis will win a controversial decision over Amanda Stanionis. And so people are saying it's hating, right? And to that, I'm saying it's not hating, right? It's surprising to me that he feels that way, but let me explain to you guys why it's not hating. Because Jaron Ennis, Boots, the Phenom, as I refer to him as, has had lackluster performances. The performance against Karen 2 times, and David Avanesian, he was getting hit in those fights. We chalk it up as fighting to the level of his competition. And like Brian Norman Sr. said in this interview, he says maybe Jaron Ennis takes it up another level because of the level of competition that's in the other side. He's excited. There's a lot on the line. The Ring magazine's on the line. So unification is his actual first world title opportunity. He was elevated to the IBF welterweight champion. This is actually his first time fighting for a world title, and it's a unification and the Ring magazine. So he could up his performances. But he even admitted that his performances against Cameron both were lackluster. He even stated that after the last fight with Cameron that he feel like it might be the weight issue, right? And the boredom. And it might be time to move up to 154, right? So, and David Avanesian, yes, he knocked him out in the 5th round, but he got hit a lot in that fight, okay? That it wasn't supposed to be competitive at all. And it was competitive in spots. And the Cameron fight was very competitive, the last fight, right? He got hit a lot in the Cameron fight, and it was very competitive, right? He won a competitive unanimous decision, right? I would say like Floyd and Marcos Maidana, the first fight. When Floyd fought Marcos Maidana in the first fight, he was expected to outclass him. He didn't. It was a very competitive fight that Floyd clearly won, but a very competitive fight. And Cameron got knocked down in this fight against Jaron Ennis, but he didn't stop him. He didn't knock him out, right? In his hometown. And he was expecting and saying that he was. And so you factor in that Amanda Stanionis is a better, younger, stronger, tougher version of Karen and David Avanesian. So if Karen can perform, now we know the triangle theory doesn't work that way. So what Brian Norman Sr. is saying, that if Karen can perform that way and David Avanesian can have success, imagine what Amanda Stanionis can be able to do, because he's slated to be even better than they are, but similar styles. So it's not hating. It's surprising that he thinks that he'll win and just lose a controversial decision. I don't think that. I think that if anything, it'll be similar to the Cameron fight, the last fight, where Boots will clearly win, but it's a competitive fight. So drop a comment in the comment section, man. I mean, all this talking has built up Jaron Ennis versus Brian Norman into a big fight. So if Jaron Ennis wins this fight against Amanda Stanionis, as I expect him to, and become the unified WBA and IBF Ring Magazine welterweight champion, him and Brian Norman, seeing as though they're saying Mario Barrios could be fighting Manny Pacquiao or a rematch with Abel Ramos, that makes all the sense in the world. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It needs to happen. And 3 belts will be on the line. 2 young, undefeated, hungry fighters would be exciting. And they should do it in Atlanta. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.